Today, we're counting down 10 joke country songs that somehow became #1 hits. One of them tells the unforgettable tale of a man stuck with the name Sue, while another spins a bizarre yarn about giant purple people roaming the land.
Went down, 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 and the flames went higher.
These are the songs that proved country music could make you laugh just as hard as it could make you cry. Number 10, The Purple People Eater by Sheb Woolly.
Purple people eater to me, it was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
It may sound more like a campfire joke than a chart-topping hit, but in 1958, Sheb Woolly's The Purple People Eater surprised everyone by rocketing to #1. Released on MGM Records, the quirky novelty song didn't just climb the country charts, it also topped the pop charts for 6 weeks.
Flying purple people eater, pigeon-toed, underclothed, flying purple people eater.
Woolly, who was better known as an actor on Western TV shows, originally recorded the tune almost as a throwaway joke. But its bizarre story about a one-eyed, one-horned, flying creature struck a chord with listeners. There was even confusion about the title. Was the monster purple, or did it eat purple people? Woolly cleverly left it vague, letting imaginations run wild. Across America, kids sang along while parents chuckled in their living rooms. Radios buzzed with the song's playful nonsense, and suddenly, the strangest creature in music history had become a national sensation. Even today, it remains one of the most unusual and unforgettable #1 songs country music ever produced. But if you thought a purple monster was strange, wait until you hear the story of a boy with a name that caused trouble everywhere he went. Number 9, A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash.
Thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue.
In 1916, Johnny Cash walked onto the stage at San Quentin Prison and delivered one of the funniest and toughest songs ever to hit #1. Written by poet Shel Silverstein, A Boy Named Sue tells the story of a man forced to grow up fighting because his father saddled him with an embarrassing name.
I'm gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, my name.
Released by Columbia Records, the live recording shot to #1 on the country chart and became one of Cash's biggest crossover hits. The twist? Cash had only seen the lyrics shortly before performing it live. The rough, slightly improvised performance actually made the song feel more authentic. Picture the scene. Prisoners roaring with laughter as Cash growls through the ridiculous yet oddly heartfelt story.
I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun.
But beneath the humor lies a touching lesson about resilience and fatherhood. A Boy Named Sue proved that even a joke song, if delivered with grit, could become a country classic. And speaking of storytelling, the next song turned everyday life into one of the funniest domestic tales ever sung on country radio. Number 8, Mississippi Squirrel Revival by Ray Stevens.
The squirrel ran up hard Newland's coveralls and hard leaped to his feet and said, something's got a hold on.
When Ray Stevens released Mississippi Squirrel Revival in 1984, he proved once again that comedy and country music can mix beautifully. Issued on MCA Records, the song shot straight to #1 on the country chart.
When that squirrel jumped her garters and crossed her thighs, she jumped to her feet and said, Lord have mercy.
It tells the wild story of a squirrel that escapes inside a small-town church, sparking chaos that turns into an accidental revival. Ray Stevens had already built a reputation as country music's master of humor, but this song may be his most beloved comedy tale. The secret lies in the vivid storytelling.
Deacons and the pastor got saved, and $25,000 was raised, and 50 volunteers.
Every verse builds the chaos. People shouting, running through pews, and the preacher struggling to keep order. Imagine hearing it on the radio during a Sunday drive, the whole family bursting into laughter before the song even finished. Yet somehow, beneath the hilarity, the message remains warm and hopeful. Decades later, it's still a staple of country comedy playlists. But our next number one hit took humor in a completely different direction, straight into one of the most ridiculous dance crazes ever recorded. Number 7, The Streak by Ray Stevens.
Oh, yes, they call him the streak. Fastest.
Ray Stevens appears again with another unforgettable comedy smash, The Streak. Released in 1974 on Barnaby Records, the song became a cultural phenomenon, topping both the country and pop charts during America's bizarre mid-70s streaking craze.
Well, yes, they call him the streak. Whoa, here he comes again.
The track is structured like a mock news broadcast, with Stevens playing a frantic reporter describing a mysterious man running naked through public places. The idea sounds absurd, and that's exactly why it worked. Listeners laughed out loud hearing the reporter shout lines like, "Don't look, Ethel," as the imaginary chaos unfolded.
That old boy took a picture with his brownie.
Across the country, the song blasted from radios in pickup trucks, diners, and living rooms. But behind the silliness was sharp comedic timing and clever songwriting. The Streak proved that humor, when perfectly timed, could dominate the charts just as easily as a heartfelt ballad. And while streaking caused laughs nationwide, the next song found humor in something much closer to home: a man's very expensive mistake. Number 6, You Never Even Called Me by My Name by David Allan Coe.
Never even called me by my name.
Sometimes the funniest country songs come from poking fun at country music itself. In 1975, David Allan Coe's You Never Even Called Me by My Name climbed to number 1 and became one of the genre's most beloved inside jokes. Released on Columbia Records, the song starts as a heartfelt lament
I went, pick her up in the rain.
until the final verse reveals the punchline. Coe jokingly explains that the perfect country song must mention trains, trucks, prison, and getting drunk, so he sings a final verse that includes all of them. Legend has it, the idea came from songwriter Steve Goodman as a playful jab at country cliches. Listeners immediately understood the joke. In bars and honky-tonks across America, crowds sang along with big smiles, knowing the song was lovingly teasing the very music they adored. And if these classics are bringing back memories, hit that like button and subscribe. We share new country countdowns every week to keep these golden songs alive. Now, the next number 1 hit took comedy to a whole new level, with a romantic story that quickly turned into one of country music's most hilarious revenge fantasies. Number 5, Drop Kick Me Jesus Through the Goalposts of Life by Bobby Bare.
Drop kick me Jesus through the goalposts of life.
Only in country music could a title like Drop Kick Me Jesus Through the Goalposts of Life become a number 1 hit. Released in 1976 on RCA Records, Bobby Bare's outrageous novelty song somehow climbed to the top of the charts. Written by songwriter Paul Kraft,
Tempest below, I got the will.
the tune mixes football imagery with spiritual humor, describing life's struggles like a big Sunday game. At first glance, the song seemed too strange to succeed, but its playful lyrics and sing-along chorus made it irresistible. Fans loved shouting the title line as if they were cheering at a stadium. Imagine hearing it blaring from a barroom jukebox, the whole room laughing and singing together.
Me to flash on the scoreboard that shines upon.
Despite its humor, the song also carried a lighthearted message about perseverance and faith. And decades later, it still ranks among the most delightfully bizarre hits in country history. But our next entry proves that sometimes the funniest songs come from everyday frustrations, especially when family members refuse to listen. Number 4, I'm My Own Grandpa by Lonzo and Oscar.
I was married to a widow who was pretty as could be.
Back in 1947, Lonzo and Oscar turned one of the most confusing family trees imaginable into a chart-topping hit. I'm My Own Grandpa climbed to number 1 with its hilariously
The matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became
tangled story about a man whose marriage accidentally turns him into his own grandfather. The song was originally written as a novelty comedy routine, but its clever lyrics quickly caught the public's attention. As the verses unfold, listeners try desperately to follow the family relationships, only to realize the situation becomes more ridiculous every minute.
I know, but it really is so.
Picture a group gathered around the radio, laughing as they attempt to untangle the logic. Even today, people still debate whether the story could technically be true. But logic hardly mattered. The sheer absurdity made it unforgettable. And from confusing family trees, we moved to a song that found comedy in something even more relatable. The awkwardness of trying to look cool and failing miserably. Number 3, King of the Road by Roger Miller.
King of the road, third boxcar.
Roger Miller had a gift for blending humor with heart, and King of the Road became his most charming number 1 hit. Released in 1965 on Smash Records, the song topped the country chart and crossed over to the pop charts as well. While it's not a joke song in the traditional sense,
Every train, all of the children, and all of their names.
Miller's witty lyrics paint a humorous portrait of a carefree hobo proudly embracing life's oddities. Lines about 2 hours of pushing broom and smoking old stogies deliver humor with effortless charm. Miller's relaxed delivery made listeners feel like they were hearing stories from a friend on a long road trip. In diners,
Hours of pushing broom buys a 8 by 12 for
truck stops, and small-town bars, the song became a sing-along favorite. Its playful storytelling proved that country music didn't always need tragedy to connect with people. And now, we're getting close to the top. The next hit turned a simple misunderstanding into one of the funniest romantic tales ever to top the charts. Number 2, Hello, Mudda, Hello, Fada by Alan Sherman.
Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am.
In the early 1960s, Alan Sherman delivered one of the funniest novelty songs ever recorded. Hello, Mudda, Hello, Fada climbed the charts with its hilarious letters from summer camp storyline. Released during the novelty song boom of the era, the track became a cultural phenomenon.
You remember Jeffrey Hardy? They're about to...
Sherman sings from the perspective of a miserable camper writing home about poison ivy, terrible food, and constant disasters. But the twist comes at the end, when suddenly everything improves and the camper decides to stay. Parents laughed, kids related, and the song quickly became a radio favorite.
Father, darling mother, how's my precious?
Picture families gathered around the living room radio, smiling as each ridiculous complaint rolled out. Even today, it remains a comedy classic. But the number 1 spot goes to a song that turned heartbreak into laughter and proved that even revenge can be funny when sung with a twang. Number 1, Harper Valley PTA by Jeannie C. Riley. Topping our list is one of the boldest and funniest songs in country music history. Released in 1968 on Plantation Records, Jeannie C. Riley's Harper Valley PTA exploded to number 1 on both the country and pop charts.
We don't believe you ought to be bringing up your little girl this way.
Written by Tom T. Hall, the song tells the story of a widowed mother who receives a judgmental letter from the local PTA and decides to confront the entire town. What follows is a hilarious and satisfying takedown of hypocrisy.
She said, I'd like to address this meeting of the Harper Valley PTA.
As Riley's voice rises with confidence, she calls out every scandal hiding behind the town's polite reputation. Listeners cheered. Picture the song blasting from car radios as drivers grinned at the delicious revenge unfolding. It wasn't just funny, it was empowering. The song became a cultural landmark and even inspired a TV show years later. If you enjoyed this trip back in time, don't forget to like and subscribe for more country classics every week. And there you have it, 10 joke country songs that somehow climbed all the way to #1. From streaking reporters to purple monsters, these hits remind us that country music isn't just about heartbreak and hard times. It's also about laughter and storytelling. These songs turned humor into chart-topping gold and proved that sometimes the funniest ideas make the most unforgettable music. Thank you for joining us on this trip through country music's lighter side. And don't miss our next countdown, 15 weirdest country songs 1970s kids can't forget, where we'll explore the emotional ballads that left fans reaching for a handkerchief. Until then, keep the music playing and the memories alive.